everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much once again joining me for tea time. Today we have a little bit of focus, and that is it. So good guys. Hope you're joining me with your cup of tea, maybe a cup of coffee this morning, hanging out, talking tech, talking video, talking photo. Today is going to be a cross between a photo and video day. It seems that Nikon might be forced to neuter their Z9. This could be by the court. I don't know. We're going to get into this a little bit. They are being sued, and by the end of this video, I want to give you some details of what's going on, and then I want to ask you some questions, because I think that's very, very important to have this back and forth, because everyone's going to have different ideas, and some folks listening might be attorneys, and you could tell us exactly what could happen to Nikon here. Before I get into any of this, I want to say that if you haven't downloaded any of my ebooks as of yet, go check them out. Go over to JCristina.com/books. Once again, JCristina.com/books. Go pick them up. They are free just for you being here. So originally I saw this article over on Petapixel as well as Nikon Rumors, and they gave a breakdown of what is going on in the court. Now, just to get an overview of what's going on, basically Red is suing Nikon for illegally copying their data compression technology. That is what is said. So the general allegations go like this. Since at least 2006, Red has been and continues to be actively engaged specifically in the design, development, manufacture, and sale of a high-performance digital still and motion cinematography cameras, video equipment, accessories, digital editing software, video player, as well as imaging format technology used in the dissemination, broadcast, or transmission of video. And now this lawsuit has to do with its imaging processing, its imaging format technology, its algorithm. Now, the lawsuit filed by Red basically asserts that Nikon has infringed upon their patents through capabilities that have been granted to the Nikon Z9 through the new recent firmware update 2.0. Now, that only happened like a month or so ago. So Red has been in the waiting, patiently waiting to pounce on Nikon as soon as they went live. And exactly when they did, literally a week or two later, they filed this lawsuit with the Southern California federal court. Now, Red's lawsuit against the Japanese manufacturer company Nikon and its United States subsidiary basically alleges that 7 patents that deal with compression have been violated, have been stolen, have been used without any type of compensation by Nikon. Now, the filing points directly to the type of lossless compression that Red holds patents to that Nikon is using in their Z9. Now, they quote in this lawsuit stating, "The camera can be configured to transform blue and red image data in a manner that enhances the compressionability of the data. The data can be compressed and stored in this form. This allows the user to reconstruct the red and blue data to obtain the original raw data for a modified version of the original raw data that is visually lossless when demosaicked. Additionally, the data can be processed so the green image elements are demosaicked first, and then the red and blue elements are reconstructed based on values of the demosaicked green image elements." So this is how it's working, and this is what they're stating to the court. This is how we do it. This is our patent, and they are doing it, and they're using our algorithm. Now, if you don't know what demosaic means, demosaic is like very similar to what I would call debarring. It's an algorithm that is used in a digital image process or used to reconstruct a full color image from an incomplete color image sample. I'll give you a perfect example is, let's say, for data in a hard drive. If you're going to write data on a hard drive, you're going to be writing ones and zeros. If I was writing a file and it had, let's say, 20 ones in a row, that was the data structure, 20 ones and then 2 zeros, let's call it. Instead of writing 20 ones onto the hard drive, we can write the number 20, let's say, -1. Let's just call it. So instead of writing 20 characters, we only have 4 characters, a 2, a 0, a dash, and a 1. Let's just call it, okay? So you're getting like a 70, 80% compression just by having an algorithm say, we're going to convert this into that. So you end up having to store less data. And that's exactly what goes on here. Now, as I said, Red has been waiting in the wings for Nikon to go live with this lossless compression as of firmware 2.0. And they didn't waste any time. They filed that lawsuit literally weeks after they went live. Now, in April, Nikon was boasting with their firmware version 2.0 that they're going to be able to, quote, enable 8.3 RAW video capture up to 60 frames per second using their NRAW format, or up to 4.1K at 60 frames per second in ProRes RAW HQ. So this is kind of what started it. It was like, well, we're going to be able to do all this. Just wait. It's coming. And then as soon as it came, boom, Red pounced. Now, Nikon also stated at the time that its NRAW or .NEV file format contains all of the depth and detail of 12-bit RAW video and crams it into a file that is half the size of the equivalent ProRes RAW HQ file. So while this sounds all great, Red got wind of it and said, okay, we're going to wait until you go live with it, and then we're going to file a lawsuit. And that's what they did. Now, this lossless technology was acquired by Nikon through a partnership with a company called IntoPix, with the release of a TICO PIC, T-I-C-O PIC. Now, what IntoPix states for their TICO RAW technology is that it delivers the most efficient RAW files that do not compromise image integrity at all, thanks to, quote, an innovative processing and coding. Yes, of course, that is the algorithm that is at question here. They also state the process would retain the full power of the image sensor while also reducing bandwidth, storage needs, and transfer times. Now, keep that in mind. Bandwidth, storage needs, and transfer times. Very, very important. We're going to get to that by the end of this video. Now, this TICO RAW feature has been in the news for months, so we know that Red has gotten wind of it a long time ago and once again has been waiting. Now, Red's lawsuit states this. They say Nikon's infringement on its patent was willful and claims that Nikon would have known of Red's patents, which they should have. They're in the industry forever. Now, this is one of the quotes that comes from the lawsuit. Red is informed and believes and thereupon alleges that Nikon knew about prior disputes involving the asserted patents as well as discussions in the public forum surrounding the patents and Red's assertion of those patents in various actions. So, what they're saying here is they not only knew about these patents, but they also have heard about them in the public forum, and they should have been aware of other lawsuits against other bodies in the past. And they're saying various actions. So not just one lawsuit, many lawsuits. They continue by saying, for example, given the foregoing and Nikon's significance and history in the camera industry, Red is informed and believed and thereupon alleges that Nikon also knew about Red's prior lawsuits involving one or more of the asserted patents. Once again, we've sued other people. You should have been aware of it, which we know you are. And that's why we're saying that this is, quote, willful infringement. This is not accidental, willful. Red then cited multiple lawsuits that it had filed against Sony and Nokia and various other companies over the years. Red is currently seeking damages or royalties for the infringement as well as an injunction to ban Nikon from further infringement. That is also very important. So, distilling all this down, I want to get your thoughts, and I'm going to give you mine. Question number one is, why in the hell did Red not sue IntoPix? They're the ones that came out with this technology and stole it in the first place. My personal opinion is money. You have IntoPix with their TICO whatever software, their TICO technology, that's like a little minnow, where you have Nikon, which is like a massive bass. Do you want to go fishing for a minnow or do you want to go fishing for the bass? Obviously, Red wants some cha-chang, and how do you get it? You have to sue a large corporation that's using your patent without giving you any type of compensation for it, right? And I think that's what is going on here. because when you first read it, understanding that the technology was through this partnership between Nikon and this other company, well, you would think that this other company would be sued and not Nikon, and the answer is no. Intipix is not being sued, which is really weird. You would think that they would bring them on board and sue both of them simultaneously, but maybe there's a reason for it. These lawyers are so damn smart, all right? They are so smart. They do everything for a reason, everything for a reason. So you obviously go fishing for the big fish, and that's what they're doing. Another question is, if this lossless compression technology is forcibly removed via some type of injunctive action by the courts, what happens to the Nikon Z9 sales? Do they start to plummet or do they not? Also, how does this affect overheating? Now, I did a video about this about a week ago now, I believe, and I was saying how the Nikon Z9 is just so amazing to be able to record such high bit rates, 8K, all kinds of craziness with no active cooling. And I postulated that the reason behind this is that it's due to the size of the camera to allow the dissipation of that heat from the sensor to the extremities. Well, maybe I was wrong. And maybe this heat dissipation is due to no heat being created because of this lossless compression that they're using that allows for, as they say, this high bit rate or the lossless of the actual image and then the reconstruction after the fact. Maybe it's because they're using this technology, it is not overheating. That is something really to consider here. If they pulled this technology out using, let's say, a firmware update 2.1 due to some type of injunctive action, what happens to heating? Will we see another Canon R5 happen where they're slapping on a fan on the back? Or what Fujifilm is expected to do with their XH2S? Hopefully not. I sure as hell hope not. Nikon can't afford such things. I can guarantee you that. Anyways, I want to know your thoughts about this. I think it is very interesting. I hope you do also. If you enjoyed this content, as always, please throw it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, family, colleagues, Reddit, wherever. Let's get some people on board this channel. If you enjoy it and you like the content and you want to say thanks, there is a thank you button you could click. Also, you could become a member. That would be cool. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Once again, throw it a thumbs up. Click this little button over here so when I go live or when a new video comes out, you will be notified of it immediately. And finally, head over to my website, JCristina.com, where you can find all the photography tools that I've invented for you and me over the years. And hopefully there's something there that you might like. And if there is, please pick it up and support me and my family. That's it, guys. I'm out of here for yet another vlog. Many blessings to you and your family. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Love you all, and have a good Memorial weekend.